Alright, what's going on, everybody? This is Easter here, back with a brand new video. Tuning off the second day of the second round. So we see which teams make the Sweet 16, and we were treated to yet another good day of basketball. Starting off, number 3 Xavier versus number 11 Pitt. Now, Pittsburgh was up on Xavier. I was watching a little bit of this game before work. Unfortunately, did not get to watch any of these games either, as I had work on Sunday night. But Xavier pulled out at the end. Pittsburgh had a really great year, just could not beat Xavier. This was the game that I was watching, I think the end of it at work. 6 seed Kentucky versus Kansas State. Kansas State pulled off and won at the end. From what I did see, the refs seemed to have a bit of a bias for Kentucky, but that didn't matter as Kansas State pulled it out, which I'm very happy to see, as I am a very anti-Kentucky Wildcats person, so I'm glad to see them lost. Another big upset here was number 2 seed Marquette. It's taken down by number 7 seed Michigan State. This actually was one of the upsets that I had picked in my bracket, seeing that Tom Izzo is a great coach and that he always has Michigan State ready to play. Again, as I said, except for that one time where the 2 seed lost to Michigan State. But other than that, they're always a very dangerous team in March. They have a great coach, and they honestly play even better when they're a lower seed. So they pulled off the upset. Michigan State, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the nation. So let's just go ahead and look and see how they did. Wow, they only shot 2 of 16. That's 12%. They still pulled off the win. It's pretty impressive. They out-rebounded them. They only had 3 less turnovers. Feel bad for Marquette, though. I like Shaka Smart. He was the coach that led VCU to a Final Four appearance in 2011, I believe. And then he went on to coach at Texas, did not do so well there, and now has gone to Marquette. And I'm pretty sure Marquette will be a pretty common high seed in March Madness for many years to come, as they are in a weaker conference. Not really a weaker conference. I mean, it's a good conference. It's a basketball conference, but at the end of the day, the Power 5 conferences still are the better conferences, in my opinion, regardless. But they could be in the March a lot. I don't really ever see them winning a championship, but they'll definitely be in March a lot. As we saw, they got upset by Michigan State. And number 5 seed St. Mary's, this is the UConn. A lot of people predicted that St. Mary's would be one of those teams that would be upset in the first round versus number 12 seed Drake, but they proved a lot of people wrong and won. But their March ends to UConn, who now is going to be playing Arkansas instead of Kansas. As we all know, Arkansas defeated Kansas on Saturday in one of the bigger upsets of the tournament. Again, which is one of the ones that I picked. And then we've got Creighton defeating Baylor, another upset that I picked. I think, in the beginning of the season, Creighton, as well as Arkansas, were in the top 10, I believe. So they were expected to be very, very good teams. Arkansas are very, very young, as we all know. They have their ups and downs. Creighton, also a very, very good team. They are an offensive juggernaut. I mean, all of their guys in their starting 5 can score 20 points on any given night. Great shooting. However, they are turnover prone, and again, had their ups and downs. Had a probably disappointing regular season, I would say, is what they expected. However, they are, again, a dangerous team, and they are letting it fly in March, and they are getting into the right energy, as we knew that they could, and they are a pretty dangerous team. Now, let's see. Shot well from 3, 45%. That's pretty good. Made all their free throws. That's really impressive. Out-rebounded them. Let's see. Had more assists. That's pretty cool. Again, turned over 14 times. Let's go to their players. Kalbrenner. That's their center. He had 10 points. He had 30 points. He actually had 30 points in the game prior, and now it's Nebhard, their point guard, who was one of the potential players of the year, but has not had that great of a year as we thought. He had 30 points. I mean, all these guys right here are elite scorers. So obviously one of the better offensive teams left in the tournament, if not in the entire tournament itself. They are a danger. If they're on fire, it's hard to beat them. And then the 6th seed FDU, who upset Purdue. As we all know, Purdue was considered the most vulnerable 1 seed probably a fraudulent 1 seed, obviously, since they lost to 16 seed. Outside of Zach Edey, they were not very good at all. They lost to a 16 seed, being the only second team ever, except for Virginia, 2 teams. And now their season ends against FAU, a 9 seed, who again has only lost like 3 or 4 games in the season. Obviously, fighting a 16 seed over a Memphis or a Purdue, probably a little bit easier. These two were very similar teams. It's just that FAU was a little bit bigger, FAU being one of the smallest teams. I think they're the smallest team in the country. If they both had very similar games, FAU was a little bit better. They pulled out the win. Not surprising there. Number 5 seed Miami beats Indiana. It was pretty close for most of the game, but Miami pulled out late, and Indiana was just pretty much on in-game mode where they had to start chucking up shots and were pressured, and that caused missed shot turnovers, which caused easy buckets for Miami. They extended their lead and won. This is now Miami making the Sweet 16. Is now the 47th straight ACC team that has made the Sweet 16. It's a pretty cool run. And then 6 seed TCU lost by 3 to Gonzaga. Very close game there. Very close. ZR, how many Timmy? He had 28. I think he has quite a lot of big scoring March Madness games. So Gonzaga is going pretty well here. Let's go ahead and look at the bracket real quick to see where we are on the Sweet 16. We got Alabama and San Diego State. It's a really good game there. San Diego State is a very good defensive team. I think they will give a lot of trouble to Alabama. Alabama was going to have a good shooting night, because if they're caught on a bad shooting night, they could lose here. However, I think San Diego State having difficulty on the offensive side, I think Alabama will pull this one out. Creighton and Princeton. Now, obviously, Creighton not playing Arizona will be a big win. However, Princeton is on a high, as we all know. St. Peter's was the last 15 seed. They made the Elite 8 before losing to North Carolina. 15 seeds are not to be done with. This Princeton team is a really good team, so we'll see if they can upset Creighton. However, if I had to guess, it would be Alabama and Creighton facing off. Let's go up here. Houston and Miami. And then Xavier and Texas. These are really good teams. Smaller teams that are more focused on guard play. And then Xavier and Texas, both really solid teams. I think Texas is the better team all around. They've got a lot of good guys, especially with Timmy Allen being back. Would be pretty cool to see 2 Texas teams, Houston and Texas, facing off. Then down here we've got 9 seed FAU and 4 seed Tennessee. Tennessee being the team that beat Duke. It's my favorite team. Played very aggressively and very dirty, very dirty, and did not get a lot of calls, so a bit of a ref bias there. I'm personally going to be pulling for FAU to upset Tennessee, and then Kansas State, Michigan State. This should be a great game right here. 2 very good coaches, 2 very good teams. I think Kansas State will pull it out, so it'll be FAU and Kansas State. Then we've got Arkansas and UConn up right here, and then Gonzaga and UCLA. Now, UConn is a very good team. They have very good center. Arkansas, obviously, a very young team. But they're on a hot streak right now. Just beat Kansas. And then Gonzaga and UCLA. I personally would like to see Gonzaga and Arkansas duke it out. But we will see. Anyways, that is it for round 2. Here are the Sweet teams that we're really looking forward to. Again, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. And always comment how your bracket is doing. Your Sweet 16, how does it line up to what it is? Obviously, mine's not doing good. I think I had Alabama and Creighton, and then I had Houston and Miami. Xavier, so this bracket is pretty good. This bracket is good. This bracket, obviously, I had Arizona over Princeton. I had Memphis and Duke, and then over here I had Kansas State and Michigan State. And over here I had Kansas and UConn. No. Yeah, I had Arkansas and UConn right here. And then I had Gonzaga and UCLA right here. So I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. At least on one of my brackets. I've had a couple brackets that probably are better than some are better.